Hi, we're Harriet and Mauro. We're restoring a 5-acre smallholding in Spain into the homestead of our dreams. We're currently working on the transformation of this neglected area of our homestead into a beautiful utilities area and bathroom. So far on this project, we've built 2 glorious pillars to support a traditional style tile roof over our utilities area. We installed our wonderful new washing machine, tore down and built up the badly built walls of the bathroom, bringing the front wall out a little further to give us some extra space inside, got the drainage installed, and levelled and laid the floor. After a summer break, we returned to this project, but before we show you what we did next, there's someone that we have promised to introduce you to. Okay, so this is our new dog Bobby. Sorry you can't see him very well because he's little. So yeah, this is Bobby. He's our new rescue dog. He's 13 years old. We kind of always wanted to adopt a senior dog and just give them their retirement here. It was always something we had in mind. We just never actually found the moment to look for a dog. We were fine with 2, and yeah, then we went to visit a friend of mine a few weeks ago, and she was actually fostering Bobby from a charity, and she'd only had him a couple of days, and we just fell in love with him as soon as we saw him. We couldn't let him go back to the shelter. Well, he had never actually been to the shelter. He'd just been placed immediately with my friend. He came from, I think, a loving family, or an individual person, an older person who became ill and went into hospital and couldn't look after him anymore. He's obviously been well looked after. He's great with kids, he's great with other animals, the cats, the chickens, the other dogs. So yeah, he's obviously had a good life, I would say. His teeth look really good, he's healthy and he's in good condition, but the family couldn't continue to look after him after his owner was taken into hospital. Yeah, it's really nice to take a rescue dog. We've had Tofu and Una since they were puppies, and it's lovely to watch puppies grow up, but it's also nice to know a little bit more about a dog's character when you get them. And it's, yeah, old dogs are just really lovely. So yeah, we're super happy to be able to give Bobby a home here. So yeah, that's Bobby. I'll leave a link to Huellas Callejeras in the description and up here in case you want to see the charity and the work that they do. They have lots of ways to support them on their website. Okay, let's get into this video. There's quite a lot happening in this video, so let's see what we've been up to with our volunteers lately.
That's the simple way to say it.
So we're back to work today after our long summer break, and we have another Harriet with us. We have a Hattie. We have a Harriet and a Hattie. Yeah, we literally do always start off every volunteer with a varnishing job for some reason. So we're at it again, we're varnishing, we're treating the beams for the bathroom. We're starting back work on the bathroom.
Painting.
Oh, no, quick! Oh, sorry Mariola. I'll get you another one. Here you go, quick. Go on, quick. Good girl.
Good girl.
Oh no, come on. So our first goal with Hattie was to get the shower tray installed. We had eventually decided on a shower instead of a bath after a lot of back and forth, and we had already got the drainage pipes in place, so the next step was to get the tray fixed in. But we thought it would be a good idea to render the walls just in this area first, just so we had a flatter wall to position the shower tray against. Rendering this wall was extremely satisfying, and as it has become smoother and whiter, we began to get a feel for how this room will look when it's a finished bathroom. There were some really irregular areas, so this was just a first coat and we will definitely need another one on top, but for the moment our priority was just this corner behind the shower plate. Do you want to tell people very briefly what you're doing, Mal? What are you doing here?
Yeah, we're leveling the base for the shower dish. So we're making this basically the same method of leveling as we did for the floor. So we're gonna make a ring of concrete and then fill the center with sand.
Oh no!
Not so nice.
Red.
Alright, do it.
Hold on. Oh!
Ooh!
Yeah.
Probably lower.
Oh, not far off
Oh.
though. Look, tiny, tiny little.
Ah, that's what you use those markings on the wall for, I see.
Yeah, look, I think that's.
It's probably bang on.
Get
Yeah.
back.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
In the fourth corner, I see how this is going to work.
Alright.
So I'll fill in the gaps.
It's touching somewhere.
So it just needs to come down a tiny bit more.
Tap, tap, tap. A bee.
Let's show everybody the concrete ring from yesterday. That's looking good. That's where our shower plate's going to sit. And now we're doing some drains. What happened now? The shower plate.
Okay, and more to continue. Oh, this does look so much better though, man. It's so much closer.
Yeah.
Apart from that plastic thing that you didn't trust.
That's alright.
Let go down.
That looks so tricky.
That looked like, oh, honestly.
I'm gonna have to glue it, haven't I?
I think at least to make it a bit tacky, because otherwise it's like.
Push a bit this way. It's like still not enough. I just think we're doing this wrong. I just think that.
We don't know what this does yet.
That's the mystery piece.
Okay, just a quick update to show what we're doing. After comparing the instructions that came with the shower dish and some videos, some trustworthy videos on YouTube, we filled this in with sand and a layer of cement. Now we're gonna spray it, and we can see with the test that we did that it's touching in all those ridges. So we think that between that, some sealant on the outside, and then the tiles that are gonna be here holding it in place, it's just not gonna move. So we're pretty confident that it's not moving. I know that it has this groove and it looks like it's to put some sort of sealant, but I don't think it's gonna do that much, and we're gonna seal it from the outside. So I'm happy to do it like this, and this is in a good position. This is quite awkward to do, but we tried it and we have a method.
Good morning. I am in the bathroom and we've made a lot of progress since you last saw me and Hattie partly rendering this wall. As you can see up here above me, the roof is on. It is looking so good in my opinion. Yeah, this is quite a few days work and I did not film any of it unfortunately because we had a crossover of two volunteer groups. We had a family and we had Hattie. And it was just like really busy and we had the new dog Bobby, so I just couldn't get out here with the camera. Everyone who was out here was just busy working and trying to organize everything, so yeah, we didn't film it, but it is on. It's lovely in here. This idea that we had of having the transparent roofing is like, it's just great. It's exactly what we imagined. It's lovely with like the dappled shade from the false acacia tree. There's lots of shade in the front, in the south and the west side. Even on the east there's a big cypress tree behind me as well. There, you can see that. So yeah, it's not too hot in here. We were worried it would feel a bit like greenhousey, but it's actually pretty shady. We're going to grow loads of plants in here. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be so nice. Anyway, the next priority before our next set of volunteers come is to finish on this wall. So this is the wall where the water is going to come through. So we want to get this rendered, tiled and get the plumbing coming through before our next volunteers arrive, because the plumbing is not really something that you need an extra pair of hands with, so we really just want to get that done ourselves. So yeah, I'm going to crack on rendering these walls, and I'm going to also render the outside wall as well, so that when we fix all the pipes and everything, it's rendered and painted underneath. So that's this wall here behind me, in amongst all of this mess. So I've got to clean out the utilities area, take everything out, get some space to work, and I'm going to be rendering this wall. That is my goal for today. Okay, so I think first of all I'm going to mix a batch of cement to fill in some of these bigger gaps. The top is a bit of a mess. Yeah, I'm going to have to see what I can do with that. Okay, there's the bottom bit done. I just decided to cement everywhere for now because it was really uneven and there's some big like gaps in these bricks that needed filling in. And then we'll go over with the render afterwards. Now I'm going to bring the scaffolding and tackle the top section. Okay, so there is more rendering coming up in this video, so let's just take a little break in between and I'll show you a few other things that we have been doing over the last few weeks with volunteers and just in general. So the garden is looking pretty bare. We took out all the tomatoes and a lot of the summer stuff. I made a lot of hot sauce. Yeah, we had loads of chilies as well. There's still quite a few things left though. There's still lots of aubergines and peppers. These beautiful Mexican sunflowers have been doing really well. They're starting to flower. They look lovely. The polytunnel, as you can see behind me, is covered in shade cloth. That was another little job that we did just the other day. That was the first step in just trying to get this polytunnel usable again and just start using it because, yeah, it just hasn't been all that useful for us. It's often just too hot in there and it's just like sucks up way too much water. But what was successful was when I grew tomatoes in here with some shade over them. So we've gone all in with the shade. We took the plastic off the front. We're actually going to replace like the front and the back sides. We have something in mind for that, but we didn't get around to it. As you can see, it needs a massive tidy up in there, but yeah, at least the shade is on, so that's keeping everything a bit cooler in there. I went around and I mounted a few taps on posts and got the posts stuck in concrete. These were just like flopping around for absolutely ages and they needed to be mounted on posts, so I did that. That was very satisfying. And we opened up the entrance to the duck pond in the chicken food forest. This is what it was looking like before and it was just too narrow. They didn't really like going in it because I think they just felt a bit like claustrophobic. Now it's opened up and there's a nice big access and the ducks love it. We do have 2 new ducks actually. Yeah, that's another point. We've got a male and a female. Yeah, so they're still young, they're not laying eggs yet, but hopefully when they do we can take some eggs and incubate them and start getting our duck population back up again. But yeah, they love this pond. The chickens come and drink from it as well. We like refresh the water every few days just by turning this pipe on and it comes from the deposit, so we have nice fresh water in here. And yeah, on the note of incubating duck eggs, we have been incubating our own eggs. We put 12 chicken eggs and 4 duck eggs in this incubator and 1 duck egg exploded. It wasn't good. It was actually quite horrible. And the other 3 duck eggs are looking good. Yeah, this incubator has been great. We thought it was really worth the investment since we want to like incubate our own eggs. Just in general. We have 2 chicken eggs that look like they're not going to do anything, but we will give them another day. It's currently day 3. And the chicks that are now a couple of days old have been moved out of the incubator and into a little box with a heat mat. And yeah, everything is looking really good. It's been a really fun experience with Santi as well. He loves seeing the little chicks and his little face lights up when you bring a chick out of the box and he gets to touch it. So yeah, a really fun thing to do with Santi, and hopefully we will have, yeah, a lot more eggs and some more ducks soon. These are the last 2 to be born. These are numbers 9 and 10, and I think that's it now. So I'm going to put them in the box. There we go. Change out the water.
Hi.
Look, they found the food. Well done. So yeah, we bought this little heat mat along with the incubator. It's really good. It has these adjustable like legs on it, so you raise it and lower it according to the height of the chicks. Transparent box, so you can see what's going on in there. A little bit of food and water for them. There is, I think there's 8 under there at the moment, but they're all huddled together. Really hard to see. Yeah, this is the heating plate that we bought. It says it's only 13 watts, which seems really low. But anyway, it's low wattage, whatever it ends up actually consuming. And it seems great so far. The next day, I returned to the utilities area to give it the final coat of render. Since I had extra mix towards the end, I also ended up rendering a bit of the front of the bathroom. I had been looking forward to doing this as one of the final beautifying steps once everything else was finished, but I guess I just couldn't wait, and it was pretty cool to get an idea of how this bathroom would look from the outside once it was all done. This box, have we opened it yet? Because I feel like it's missing pieces. Like, it says it's supposed to come with this tap. Okay, so the utilities area wall is rendered and smoothed down. We do need to paint it, but the goal for today is just to see if we can get this filter installed and just basically start working on some of the plumbing. So I'm just seeing what we've got and what we need to go and buy. Yeah, it looks pretty easy to install, but I think we're missing some pieces for it. Alright, we actually found everything. So that's going to go there. We might even have all the pieces that we need. So that's going to go onto the white pipe. Is that going to go there okay?
I put that in,
Are you
Mama.
helping? Thank you. So that does go there, Cynthia. That is quite bright.
I'm losing pieces faster than I'm...
Baba, boot up, boot up.
Another one, thank you. Okay, I've just come around the back to have a look at what changes are needed here. So one thing we're going to try and do is stick to like as wide diameter pipe as possible, as far as we possibly can. And we're also going to switch out... Whoa, what are you doing, Cynthia? Try and switch out our 16mm compression piping for 25mm compression piping everywhere we can, just to reduce the resistance that we have, because we're just right on the edge when it comes to pressure for our water heater. So we're just going to try and make a few improvements that will just hopefully just get the pressure up to where it needs to be to work consistently. It was just always intermittent. We also have a little pump that we can install if we need to, but it runs off the batteries. If we can avoid it, that would be great, because it'd be great to just use the pressure from the tanks up the hill. So yeah, we'll see.
My baboon.
Looking nice, isn't it? Well, you can't see with the light, but it is looking nice. Alright, so for around the back we need, or do you want me to draw the filter? Meal out. And then it's coming. And that's coming, and then that's... It turned out we were actually quite a long way from getting the filter installed that day. Between my insane attempt at a technical diagram and Mauro's much more legible approach, it actually took us an entire day to figure out how everything was going to connect and what we needed to put on our shopping list. We then went to Ogromat and picked up everything we needed, or so we thought, only to have a couple more brainwaves as soon as we got home, which meant we were probably going to have to return half the pieces. This is not all of the pieces. 20 corner pieces, which is just insane. Yeah, here they are. They're all in this bag here. Like, for such a small installation, it just seems a little bit ridiculous, but it is what we calculated. Before we went any further, we decided to lay everything out and connect a few things together just to make sure our plans made sense and get a feel for how it was all going to work. Knowing us, we probably have at least 2 more trips to the shop before this part of the project is finished, but we really want to get this right, and we do feel like we're on the right track, so hopefully everything goes well and we make the final switch over from the old plumbing to the new plumbing with no hiccups. Okay, so that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and a huge thank you to our volunteers. Firstly to Hattie, whose main achievement, her proudest achievement, was getting that shower plate in. That was quite a challenge, but it's in, and we're really pleased with that. And then to Carl, Christina and Nora, who helped us with the roof. I'm so sorry I didn't manage to film any of that, but out of the way. But yeah, that was a huge help. We could not have done that without those extra pairs of hands, so thank you guys so much for that. We are super happy with where we've got to with the bathroom, and we are hoping literally today to get all the hot water connected up, so you will see whether we manage that in our next video. So yeah, see you then. Alright, Bobby, let's go.
I died, that we died.
This way.